Hello everyone, this is Stephanie. Welcome to another video. So I've been having a lot of fun with the little daisy chain with MiniDuos. So if you remember, we made this ankle bracelet. So I've been playing around with it, and I made some earrings. I didn't put a tutorial up for these, but I think I'll do a short tutorial on these because, you know, there's a certain way you have to do it so it comes out really nice, because it's like a door knocker. See how the way it's attached? It's great. It's nice. It's got a lot of movement. So I will put up a short video on that. And then I decided I was going to do a ring. So here's a ring using the bottom of this earring, and it's just got a little simple super MiniDuo band on it, and kind of cute. I mean, really fast, fun, kind of funky. And then I did the three. I'll show you this one first. I did the 3-row bracelet, which I love. I'm so happy with this one. It's so cool and so much fun to make. It's really cool. And I closed it with 3 rondelles, which I haven't done really much of. Usually I'll use a Firepolished like this, but I found these rondelles and I love the silver sort of shine on them, so I tried them, and I love that I love the way they work. Here's one that I'm working on. I'm not done with it. I just put it on just for effect. Okay, but we're going to finish this one today. If you notice, I don't know, it seems like they're just a little smaller, you know, but they both look good. So anyway, so this is done with the fire polish here, and this is done with the rondelles. So, you know, either way is fine. So here it is. Let me show it to you off the wrist. So it's and I'll move these. So it's a 3-row daisy, MiniDuo daisy chain. And it's all connected with the MiniDuos, which is kind of cool because it gives it this this drape. Because where you're connected with the MiniDuos, it's kind of like a door knocker, like the earring. So, you know, as I showed you a minute ago, see how it moves, and that's because of that little sort of hinge looking, you know, bit over there, which is just a MiniDuo connector. So it's a bunch of a daisy chain made with MiniDuos. I keep calling them super duos, and then they're all connected with these little you know, with the MiniDuo connector, and it just makes a kind of a really nice flexible, look at that, that's so supple and so easy. It just lays on the wrist and it looks so pretty. So anyway, that's what we're going to make. Here's the of course the ring again, and here's the flax version. This is sort of, and see, I haven't finished it. This is it's sort of gold, but it's this sort of pale flaxy gold color. So it's not like garishly gold, horribly, you know, sparkly shiny gold. It's a really sort of, you know, muted gold, and it's done in a sort of in a matte MiniDuo, so it's really pretty. It's because there's a lot of MiniDuos there, so I wanted it to be, you know, just to be really pretty. So we're going to complete this one today. So I'm going to give you the materials list for this right now. So I'm going to pull these down. Okay, so you don't need that much if you're just doing the bracelet. You'll need MiniDuos. And this is matte metallic flax, and it's the 2x4mm MiniDuo. I don't think they come any other way, but I'm just reading the package. I got these from Fusion Beads. I'm using some 11-0 seed beads, and these are just opaque black. And then I'm using some 4mm pearls, and these are black pearls. Okay, and again, if you watch the other tutorial, it's the black-eyed Susan, which I love. I love having a little black-eyed Susan on my finger. So cute. Okay. You need a stop bead. You'll need 3 either rondelles, and I'm going to say that they're probably 8. There's the rondelle. I didn't have 3 of them, but I love the way the rondelle looks at the end here. As I said, it looks I just think it's a nice little touch but I love the fire polish too. So whatever you have, I'm going to say these are 8mm fire polish, so I'm going to say that that's probably an 8mm rondelle. I'm not exactly sure. I don't really use them that often except a string, but this was a nice little, you know, I happened to find them in a bead, you know, in my bead box where I have all kinds of, you know, one-of-a-kind beads, you know, that I only have one left of or something, and there they were, so I decided to use them. All right, so you're going to need the 3 either fire polish or rondelle beads. You'll need some 6-pound Fireline, and you really want to use 6 because you're going through these beads a lot. So you want to make sure that you have enough space in there. And I forgot to put it out, but Here's a very crooked size 12 beading needle, which I'm going to change when I go over and get my other needles. All right, so let's see, what else do we need? We're pretty good. All right, so why don't you gather up your goodies, and we'll get started making this, we're going to call it Dizzy Daisy Duos. And that was with the help of a really sweet viewer. Thank you. Okay, Dizzy Daisy Duo bracelet. That's a mouthful. All right, so I'll see you in a couple minutes. Gather up your goodies. Okay, so we're back, and I've got all my materials here, and we're going to start with this center string of units here. So we're going to do the center, this unit, and then we're going to add the two sides. So it's going to be different what's on the center units as, and then then it's going to be different on the sides. So you'll see as I go along. I know that's confusing. All right. So I've got about I don't know, 3 to 4 feet of Fireline. If you can put more on, put a ton on, because you're going to have to add, you'll have to add thread, but it's certainly up to you if you want to keep it all in one piece. It's a little easier to work with if you don't use a ton of thread, but I'll leave that up to you. I started with about 4 feet, and I still had to add thread. So put your stop bead on, leave about a 10-inch tail, and I'm leaving less because I'm just going to show you how on this one, so I can make sure I stay in frame. So I put 10 mini duos on my thread, and I'm just going to make them into a circle. Okay, so I've wrapped it around, and I'm just going to go up through. I'm just going to go through the bottom holes of the mini duos. I'm going to turn that into a circle. I'm going to come in a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. All right. So now I'm going to reinforce this all the way around. So I turned it into a circle. I'm going to go around all around through the beads, the bottom, that hole right there, the bottom hole, until I pass my stop bead and I firm this up a bit. Okay, so give it a pull, hold it like so. Coming through. So I've passed my stop bead and feels pretty firm. Okay, so like that. Alright, so now you want to do is you want to put a pearl on. So pick up a pearl, and at this point we're setting up this one unit, and every unit is going to follow that unit. So the easiest way I found to add a pearl, and I've tried to anticipate some questions. So if you do have a question, I'm going to try and answer it before you even ask it. Okay. So pick a pearl. You're still in the bottom hole here. Take a pearl, slide it down, put it in the center of your little unit, and I'm going to pick this up. So wherever the thread comes out is just about halfway. Okay, so my thread's coming out about there. I'm going to put attach it right at that bottom hole of that super duo that's right across. Now you can count, whatever is easier for you. I find that sometimes, because you're doing so many of these little units, I find that every once in a while you don't get it exactly halfway across, and then your pearl won't sit in the center beautifully. Now, it's not a big deal. There are a couple on here that are not in the center beautifully, like that one. I don't know if you can see that. See this one right here? That one was off a bit, so where I connected it, I was off a teeny bit. It doesn't really, if it doesn't bother you, then don't worry about it. I just wanted to find a really easy way for you to connect them without having to do a lot of counting or, looking at it and saying, what do I do? It just sort of tells you where to put it. So there, it's nice and centered. So I've come around and I've, reinforced a bit. So I'm just going to take a mini duo. I'm going to go up to the second hole of this mini duo right here. See where the thread's coming out? Just step up to the top. So we're going to add some more beads. So now we're going to set up the connectors. So pick up a mini, go through the next mini duo. Okay. Pick up a seed bead, connect a seed bead. Okay, just like that. Pick up a mini, add a mini, pick up another mini, the top hole of the next mini. Here we are. Okay. Now I'm going to take a seed bead, I'm going to go through the next off the next MiniDuo. Another seed bead, the next. And what we're doing right now is, oh, I'm really close in. Let me pull out a teeny bit. Okay. We're doing this first unit right here. Okay. So this is what we have. Okay. Pick up another seed bead. Put that seed bead on. Okay. Pick up a mini. Put on a mini. Put another mini. Put on another mini. Pick up a seed bead. Go through the mini and then through the next. You see where the connector is? I've gone through that bottom hole of that connector. Okay. All right. So this is what the unit looks like. Okay. So this is this unit is this right here without the clasp on. Okay. So we've got two side connectors and a bottom connector, and this is what we're going to do with variations when we get to either side. But this is basically it. How easy is that? And cute. All right. So next, take you're coming out of this hole over here. Just go over to the next one. If you watched the ankle bracelet, this is it's pretty much the same procedure. So take 10 of your MiniDuos, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and I just want you to come around and connect on the other side. Okay, so you've got another unit. Now each unit is going to be 10 beads with the connector, so it looks like 11. So it's this little connector is holding these together, and it's giving it that sort of door knocker, flexibility. So it's not right angle weave. I know a couple of you had mentioned that, but it isn't. It's a daisy chain, but we're using a connector in the center. Instead of doing, let's say, some seed beads here, we're just using another MiniDuo as a connector, just to be a little different. So I've got that next unit on, so I want to put the pearl on. So pick up the pearl. Okay, so we're here, and they're going to flop around a little bit, but don't worry about it. Okay, so I'm going to put my pearl down. I'm going to let it fall where it wants to fall to sit naturally. It's falling right there, so I'm just going to come across, and I'm going to go through my bottom MiniDuos again, just to get that pearl on. Okay, there we go. Okay, now, because we're on this unit, we have to make sure that our connector is directly across from this connector. See this connector here? It didn't matter for the first one because we were just establishing where we're going to put the connectors. But from now on, you have to make sure that this is right across. Now, you could count, or you could look at it. I look at it and I can tell where it is, but sometimes that is probably not the best way to do it. So when I'm coming this way, okay, I'm coming around. Okay, I see that my connector is going to go right there. See that? Okay, so it's going to go in between these two beads here, right here to here. Okay, so you can count the number of beads. Let's say you want to count from, if this makes it easier, count from this bead that's in between the connector bead that's in between these two. So don't count that, but go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And one more, so that's 6 beads. Okay, so in order to get to the outside, I have to come down, see, just like that, and then I'm going to put that connecting bead on, and that's going to put it in the right place. So it's the 6th bead from the end. I like to eyeball it and say, okay, that's going to go directly across there. But that, whatever helps you get it across there. You can count from this bead, you can count, you can, just hold your needle there, whatever works to get that that bead on straight. And believe me, if you don't put it on correctly, you will know right away. So it's not like you can put one on incorrectly. You'll all of a sudden you'll have this jog this way or jog whatever it is this way, and it won't be straight. And we want this to be straight. Even though it's called dizzy, it's still straight. It's just dizzy way making it. Okay, so I'm taking a seed bead. I'm going to sort of do the same thing I was doing. I'm coming down one, MiniDuo. I'm going to put on another MiniDuo. I'm just putting my connectors on. Okay, take another MiniDuo. Okay, I'm going to take a seed bead. I'm going to put it through the next MiniDuo. And then I'm going to just go through the next MiniDuo right there in between those two, the connector. I'm not putting any seed beads on at this point. A little thread might show, but not really. It's not bad. So I'm going to go through the next one. Not going to put any beads there either because they really don't fit over there. And see what happens when you pull it? You really don't see it. So if if you really want to put a bead there, you probably could fit a 15-0, but I just, I don't like to put beads on there. I feel they really aren't necessary. And this is a very strong bracelet, so I wouldn't worry about a little thread here and there. It's not a big deal. Okay, put on a seed bead. Put on another MiniDuo. Pick up another MiniDuo. Put on another MiniDuo. Okay, pick up seed bead. Put on a seed bead and go through the MiniDuo and then the bottom hole of the connector. Alright, so there we go. Alright, so you'll notice, I'm just trying to anticipate, maybe some questions or something. So I have 3 seed beads up here because I didn't put that connector on up here. I'm going to put my clasp on here. See, so I don't need the connector up there, so that's why that looks different. Alright, so I'm coming out of the mini on the side, the connector. I'm going to go up. Okay, do it one more time with you, and then you can, finish that entire line by yourself. So let's do one more, and then we'll go on from there. Okay, so I'm going to pick up 10. 5. It's 10. I'm just going to come back around through that hole right there. See? Okay. Now just move it around to where it's, it's comfortable for you to hold it. They're little, so they're going to flap around a little bit, but it's not a big deal. Okay, just going around. I'm going to reinforce this entire first circle. You could feel it getting tight, as you do it, that the circle is getting a little more firm. Okay. I'm going to go around a little bit more just to get away from the connector area. Be careful about getting caught on these little connectors. That's one thing I wrote down, because I've gotten caught a few times and not even seen it, and then I had to take it out because I had little loops wrapped around the connectors. Just stuff that I go through that, that happens to me that might happen to you, and so I'm going to help you avoid that. Okay, so it's time for a pearl. I'm just going to put it down. I'm going to put on my pearl. Okay, now I'm going to pick it up. So my pearl is coming out right there. I'm just going to lay it across, and wherever it's happy, I'm going to attach it. So I'm going to go this way. Attach it to the other side of the opposite MiniDuo. I'm going to come around, reinforce that pearl, and my goal going around here, just as you go along, is to get to the side so I can put the connector on, or the areas where the connectors are going to go. So keep coming around. Okay. And I want to see where am I going to put my connector. So if I want to count, let's say I count from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, go up the 6th one. That's 6. Okay. And then go, let me just make sure I have 6 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see. Even I get a little confused with this after a while. Okay, so come down this one. Let's make sure that's right. Yes. Okay. Pick up a MiniDuo. Go on through. It's going to show you if it's not right, and sometimes it seems like it might not be, but if you do the counting at that point, that'll be very helpful to you. Okay, so pick up a seed bead. I wasn't sure I made that one. Okay, pick up a MiniDuo. As I said, you will know immediately if you've put something on wrong. It won't fit. It's almost like a puzzle. Okay, seed bead. I'm going to go through the top hole of that. I'm just moving it around a little bit. Go through the top hole of that next MiniDuo, and then again. You don't need a seed bead there. It's a nice hinge. Put on a seed bead. It's kind of a wonky one. Oops. Try that again. Go this way. Okay. Pick up a mini. Okay, pick up a mini, go to the next one. So you're seeing that there's a little pattern going on here. So you'll know if you don't have it right, because you know that there's a I'm going to go through it before I go on. I'll just go through that one. And then don't forget to move your thread over to the next hole, because I've done that too, and then you put on your you start and it's all messed up. All right, so if you notice that for each unit, there's one seed bead in between these units. So you can always, look at that and say, okay, between every, all of these, this group, and these two, there's one seed bead, so there can be 4 seed beads around here. Whatever it takes to get, to get you to remember it, or just keep watching, rewind and watch, but that's it. That's pretty much it. Okay, so this is where we are. So let me back out just a teeny bit, because I just want to show you, before I send you off on your own, this is what you're doing. So you're going to do this all the way down to the end, and then at the end, you don't want to put this, the MiniDuo on, because you want the end, you want this end, right? So you want to finish it first, though, because I don't want you tying knots in these until we have everybody together. So just leave your stop bead on and your thread, but don't put the MiniDuo connector on this end or this end, right? So we don't have it there. So the other ends are going to look just like this. So go on and play. Have fun. Do your entire center connector, and then meet me back here, and I'll show you how to put the sides on. All right, see you in a few. Okay, so we're back, and I've come in really close so that you can see how to connect the next row. So you're here right now. All right. So I've gone ahead and I've made my little unit, and I'm about to come through the top of a bead here. Okay. Whoops. Like so. I already did that. And I'm going to put on my connector. The first one doesn't matter where you put it, because you're going to set the rest of them, set everything up with this one. All right? So what's going to happen is this little connector is going to be going that way, so down, and then you want to make sure that's in the center, right? So then you're going to connect just like that. So before we can do that, we have to put one seed bead on. Okay? So here's the one seed bead. Now we want to put that next to that, so my connector looks pretty perfect at that point. So in order to get this, I want to see if I can do this on the mat. In order to get this connected, you want to put it in kind of like a puzzle, and then your thread is coming out of here. Go through that very first connector you come to. It would be nice if you can get the one on the piece you're working on, and then that next one. So see, you're putting the needle right through there in order to connect everybody. See how that makes that nice little connection there? Okay, and just give that a pull. Right, and you've got it connected. How easy is that? So now you have to put some seed beads on and get back to this end so you can connect more beads. So I'm just going to move it, I move it around just because it's easier for me to sew, and just like it will be for you, just make sure you know where you're sewing. I'm just going to pull out a touch just so it's not too close. So here we are, okay? You want to come through the next seed bead, because we don't put any beads in between the connector, you know, this spot right there. So come through, and that's all connected. How cool is that? And it's a nice connection, you know, it's that, you know, it's got this movement to it, which is great. Okay. On goes the seed bead. So you're going to come all the way around till you get to the connector. So I'll do that with you. Seed bead. Another seed bead. Just remember, this is the first one, so we don't need to put a connector at the top, and we don't need to put anything on the side because it's the other end, just like this. Okay. Put on another seed bead. Another seed bead. It might look a little confusing. It's like, where is she putting this and what is she doing? But when you're doing it, you'll see it. It so clearly goes into that little connection there, like a puzzle. Okay, so go through the top hole of the last MiniDuo and then the bottom hole of the connector. Okay, and then, just like we've been doing, go through the top hole of the connector, just like so. And now you're set up to do another round. Another unit. Okay, so here we go. So looks like weird, how is that going to connect? But you're just going to figure out how to do this. I'm going to show you, of course, but it's, you know, it's like a little puzzle. That's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 minis, making another circle, and we're going to attach it. It's coming out of this one right here. Just come around, attach it. Okay, just reinforce all the way around. Super duos and mini duos, especially these, they're just all like puzzles. So diamond duos, it's like you can put, you know, stitch a whole bunch of them together, or not even stitch them together, just put a whole bunch of them like interconnected, and then draw a puzzle on them, and then, you know, mix them up, and you'll have, you know, you'll have your own puzzle. All right, just thought I'd add that in. All right, so here we go. Want a pearl? Okay, let's put our pearl on. It's looking good. So take your pearl, drop it down. Okay, let it come across to where it wants to sit. Mine's very happy right there. I'm just going to come through the bottom beads. I'm going to come all the way around. I'm going to reinforce my pearl. Coming through. Stuck. Oops. Okay, so again, be careful about getting your thread stuck. So I did get my thread got stuck, so I can pull it through. But if you do a lot of sewing around, it's a little clumsy. Then and you found that you were looped on something and you can't get it out, then you know you just can't. All right. So what I'm going to do? Where am I? I'm coming out of here. I'm just going to get my pearl on. A little bit wonky, but it should be okay. All right. So come on through. Make sure I'm in frame. Come on through. So I'm going to put my little bottom connector on. Don't forget that connector because you won't be able to connect it to anything if you forget it. Okay. So here I'm getting ready for my connector. All right. So I want it to go directly across, so I'm coming out of this bead here. I'm just going to go through the top of that same bead, just like that. I'm going to put on my connector. I know it's a lot of winding around. That's why it's called the Dizzy Daisies. To come out with this really very structured all in a row is a lot of twisting and turning. All right, so we have our connector on, so we see that's how it's going to go together. So to get there, we have to put our seed beads on. Seed bead. Another one. I try to do it on the mat, but I'm so much better holding it, so I'm just going to hold it. So keep going around. So you notice you have 4 seed beads before you get to the connector. So if you have 5, you've put one too many on. Oops, so just go through there. Go through your connecting bead, like so. Come through one more. Okay, I'm going to put on a seed bead. Okay, I'm going to put that seed bead on, and then we're going to connect. Okay, so let's just get the seed bead on first. Alright, and now we know we're going to connect just like this. They're going to go in just like that. Alright, so let's see if we can get it, see if I can do it on the mat. So here I am, coming out of this MiniDuo right here. Okay, I'm going to pull way in for this. Okay, I'm coming out of this mini. I'm going to go through this mini, the one on this one here on my work, the next one on the unit I'm working on, through the next one that's sticking out on the bracelet, and then I'm going to pull. And that's just going to make everybody sit together. See? Alright, so then in order to complete the rest of my unit, I'm coming out of the seed bead on the unit, come through this one. Okay, just like that. So now we're set up to put on our last seed bead. Okay, so put on your last seed bead, go through the top of the duo and then the bottom of the connector. And put that on. Okay, it's not so bad, huh? Alright, so you want to keep doing that until you get back to the end again. And then we'll put on the clasp. Alright, have fun. See you in a few. Okay, we're back and we are done. Just have to put the clasp on. So I'm going to show you how to get it on. And pretty easy, just pretty standard crystal, loop closure. Looks great. I hope you had fun doing it. I thought it was a lot of fun. Alright, so here's my tail, and I'm glad I didn't move my tail to the top because I want you to see. If your tail is coming out here, this one's coming out on the second inside hole of this MiniDuo. Yeah, I'm going to actually let me pop in a little bit. Okay, so I'm just going to, it's coming out there, I'm just going to come up to the top like that. Right, because you want to start with the top beads. And I want to start coming out of a seed bead. So I'm just going to reinforce a little. Coming on. I'm just going to come all the way around. You have plenty of room in there. You haven't done any, and you haven't put any more threads through those outside beads. You haven't reinforced yet because you waited so that when you put the clasp on, you won't have any holes that are blocked from knots. So I'm just working my way around. Through all the beads, just the outside beads, just to set me up to put the crystal on. Okay, so here we're almost there. So I want you to come around and come out of this seed bead right here. So you see there are like 3 at the top, and then you have the connector. So come out of the 1 here. If you come out in a different place, just make sure you come out of either this seed bead or this seed bead, because you want to use these 3 seed beads, just see what I mean, in order to make the legs of the clasp. Alright, so take 3 11-ohs, a mini, an 11-oh, whoops, that was a little skinny, 11-oh, take your crystal or rondelle, whatever you're using, just going to move that out of the way, bring those down, just like that, put on 3 seed beads, making a little picot at the top. So skip the 3, okay, just like that. Come back through the crystal and give it a little pull. Make sure you picot. There you go. Pick up an 11-oh. Come through that other side of the super duo right there. Pull that down. Add 3 11-ohs, and so here you've started at this seed bead right here, where that leg is coming out. Don't come around; just go straight over and through. We're just working with the outside beads. That 3rd seed bead in, and that will just see what that does. It just puts the clasp on, the other leg of the clasp on. So again, reinforce. At this point, you can tie some knots, or you can just come all the way around. Oops. Don't get caught. There we go. Because you're not going to be going through these beads again, so you can actually do some half-hitch knots around here. So I'm just going to keep coming. And what you want to do, let me just come around a little bit, then I'll show you. Okay, so we're coming around, reinforcing, reinforcing. Make sure you're going through all the beads. You're not missing a bead. Here. Now come up through the clasp again to reinforce it. So I'm going. I've just come all the way around that last unit. I'm just going to go up. Just make sure you don't miss the beads. Go up your clasp again. Okay, they want to fight me a little bit. Go through everybody. Go through the picot. Like so. Come down the other side. Come through the beads underneath the crystal. Come on through. Now definitely tie some half-hitch knots here. And go around and just tie them around the outside, and then come up, and if you can make a 3rd pass around your closure, that's great. The more passes the better. Just make sure you can get through the outside super duos, MiniDuos. So far, this is my 3rd pass, and I'm still not having trouble. Not having trouble, excuse me, getting through. Okay. All right. So we'll leave that. I won't finish that. But so do that at least twice. You can do it a 3rd. So here's the other end. I just want to get both ends on for you. Okay. So this one I happen to be coming out in the right place. So I'm coming. Here are the 3 beads, 1, 2, 3. That I'm going to. That's going to be inside the legs of my clasp. It's going to. It's going to be attached to the 2 outside beads, and then that 3rd one is in the middle there. So 1, 2, 3. So pick up 3 seed beads, a mini, and then you need a number of beads to fit around your crystal. My number was 18, so I'm going to take 18 beads. 17, 18. And that number could change for you. It depends on the size of the crystals and actually the size of the seed beads, because some seed beads are a little bit smaller than others, especially if they have a coating on them. So, you know, just count and check your, you know, when you get to this point, check your opening and, you know, make sure your crystal will go through it. You want it to go super easy. You want it to get through. You don't want it to be too big. So just keep testing it until it's good, because you won't be happy if it, you know, if it's too big or too small. You're not going to get it on, or you're going to, it's going to fall off. So that's something that, you know, for those of you who are beginners, you know, that you will learn over time. You'll learn which bead requires more. You'll still test it, because I'm coming through the third bead in there. All right, just like that. Then I'm going to work my way. Okay, so I'm a little stuck right there, so I have a little tip, which is, you know, which I use a lot, and somebody had mentioned also. I'm just going to tie a half hitch, and I'm going to go in the opposite direction. So I'm just going to take my needle, and this is getting pretty, you know, these beads are close together. So I'm just coming around right where my bead is, and I'm just going to bring that knot in that, under that bead right there, and I'm going to pull. And see what that does? It gives me a little knot, and now I can just go back in this direction, because you've stopped the thread at that point. All right? You know, that happens sometimes, and it's always good to know that you can do that. It's not, you know, it's not cheating or anything. It's just another way. If you're, you know, if your beads are too tight and you can't get through them, so then go around and do the same thing. You can, you know, if you can get through on this side, try on that side. Tie a few half hitch knots. If you want to just go back and forth by making a knot and attaching this, that's fine too. All right. So why don't you go ahead and do that, and then we'll come back and we'll look at our bracelets and our earrings and our ring. Okay. Okay, we're back. We're done. There you go. I'm modeling for you. The bracelet is it's not too tight, but it's not loose either. It's just, it fits nicely. It's got a little bit of, you know, I can get my finger under it a little bit, but it drapes nicely. I wish I could really drape it down my arm, but it fits so nicely, and it's so pretty. And here's the ring, okay, that I'll pop up a little video on that. That's a quickie, but it's cute. Okay, we've got the earrings, little door knocker earrings. They're so cute. Okay, rings. Okay, I'm going to take this bracelet off and just put it out for you. Okay, so here we go. Here's the bracelet. Okay, here's the silver. Here's the earring. The earring, and as I said, the earring and ring I'll pop up a quick video on, so you don't have to, you know, I don't want to put it at the end of this one. I think it's just good for the bracelet. So here it is. Okay, here's your Daisy Duo bracelet jewelry. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. It was so much fun to make this and to design this, to put it together. It was just a blast. So I hope you had as much fun as I did, and I hope you'll play with these little units and put, you know, all kinds of interesting little things on them. You could even sort of go 3D. You know, there's so many possibilities. Anyway, thank you for joining me. Subscribe if you like this channel, and join me on Facebook, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.